Do you want to get more value out of the influencers you partner up with on behalf of your brand? We believe we have the answer here at Kinship. Influencer paid media funnels. What the heck are those? Here at Kinship, we definitely believe you should be partnering up with influencers on a month-to-month basis to keep the social conversation going about your brand from a variety of different people in a variety of different walks of life that are representative of the categories of your brand organically. But we see on our end the value and true value of them to extracting revenue out of these partnerships is on the back end through paid media funnels, what we have called influencer paid media funnels. So that's what we're going to be walking through today. And as you'll see on screen, we've done a variety of different ads with influencers in this space, whether the ad is served from their page, the brand's page, their influencer content that's just raw without any edits, edited influencer content, mashables, serving these ads into their engager audiences, the influencer's audience, the brand's audience. This is what sounds to be the wild, wild west still, but we're here to bring clarity to the chaos. At a high level, this is how we at Kinship really view an influencer paid media funnel. We want to give you a quick overview of what it looks like. So at the prospecting level, we're looking at getting influencer content that's very entertaining and educational, people to enter into the funnel. At the re-engagement level of the funnel, we may want to offer people some sort of discount code, some sort of deal. At the remarketing level, make it a brand piece with the influencer, trying to capture them in a way that represents your brand well and speaks your brand message. And then obviously going down to the DPA where we're running product catalogs, and maybe, and ideally, you send that to an influencer landing page so that the funnel is very cohesive. So at a high level, that's what we identify as influencer paid media funnel. So we're gonna walk you through influencer creative examples where we found success based on a measurement scale that we borrowed from our sister agency, Common Thread Collective. Yes, we borrowed it from them. They can't get upset with me right now. Called ADA, and that's an acronym for attention, interest, desire, action. Attention, real quick to give you an overview of what this is attention is 3-second views divided by impressions, which spits out percentage. Anything above a 30% is incredibly good. Interest is your video average watch time. How much time on average are people watching the ads? It's hard to get people past 3 seconds. Facebook actually defines that as a really good metric to look at. How long are people watching your stuff? Desire, outbound click-through rate. Anything above a 3, again, incredibly well. And then action, the metric that everybody loves, and that's pretty much a lot of what you guys only look at, ROAS. But we like to look at all 4 of these when gauging success. So I want to play a game with you guys. Which do you think performed better? As you'll see on screen, you'll see an ad from Love Bags here, digitally creative, an edit, or the influencer content here. And this is just a raw, what we call raw content. There's no edits to it. We didn't make it with any text overlay. We didn't spice it up at all. But we felt as though that content that's just native to the platform, which is just people going on screen, speaking to things that they love, and expressing themselves would work really well in the ad account. So I feel as though I probably just gave away the answer. This raw piece of content here by a woman named Megan Roosevelt did incredibly well for this account. And I basically want to walk you through what it was that this Megan Roosevelt raw piece of content performed at. Her attention was at 34%. So that's 34% of the people that watched 3 seconds out of all the people that ad was served to. That's incredibly good, especially with the attention rate this day and age. I never stopped that long. People had an average watch time of 10 seconds in this video when they actually got to watching this ad. Anything above a 5 is fire, absolutely fire. Outbound click-through rate on this ad was 6%. Anything at a 3% that is incredibly good. And then her ROAS, lastly, was at a 2.41 in comparison to the rest of the account at a 1.7. So as you can see, her ADA did incredibly well in comparison not only to the account, just as just an ad in general. So to dive right into this next example, this is with Nick Shackelford, a dear friend of ours here at Kinship, on behalf of the brand Western Rise. And as you'll see on screen, his ADA performance did incredibly well. His attention was at 38%. His video average watch time was at 6 seconds. His outbound click-through rate was at a 2.88, and then his ultimate ROAS was actually the top creative in the account and had a lift of over 100% in comparison to the rest of the creative here at a ROAS of a 4.84. And in this ad specifically, the ad came from his page, and when I say from his page, I just mean that the ad is served from his name at the top of the screen, serving the ad instead of the brands. We've seen success with this, especially in this example, and this ad was actually served from his page into the brand's social engagers. Really interesting. It's the top performing vertical of finding success in that account right now, and this creative has done incredibly well, as you can see on screen. So what made these perform so well? I just want to reiterate, we think, again, influencers creating content on behalf of your brand and speaking to their products and expressing themselves through this vertical is the best way to go about Facebook advertising. These people are native to the platform. This is what people are used to seeing when they scroll through their feed. And sometimes it probably seems as though it's not even a sponsored ad. They're just seeing somebody that they follow on screen talking about a product. And what's more organic and authentic than that? And that's what we've seen achieve the most success. When you can basically find that authenticity and that organic nature as much as possible within an ad. To transition out of gauging success with influencer creative by the measurement scale of ADA, we would like to highlight another area of success that we found in working with influencers on the back end through influencer paid media funnels, which is audience access. So when you get page access, what we call as advertiser page access, or they give you partnership access to their page in your ad account, you're basically able to serve ads from their page and then also create audiences based off their social engagers. So one of them I want to highlight is with an influencer named Kimberly Morris on behalf of a brand called Laser Away. So our in-house man on the move, Reed Naliboff, was able to go up there and film some of these appointments with influencers. And Kimberly Morris in particular was able to capture a great testimonial experience throughout her appointment. But what was really, really interesting is using that content from her page into her lookalike audience. So a lookalike audience off the influencer social engagers. What is that? Okay, so you can build a social engager audience off Kimberly's followers in the ad account, something that you typically only have access for a certain amount of days, say 30 days. But you can also build a lookalike audience off those social engagers, which is 2.1 million people that are most similar to those that you get to keep forever in your ad account. So our target metric for Laserway was to drive cost per lead, and we wanted to hit a metric of $40 lead generation to get and drive appointments. $40 was the target. Her lookalike audience, which is straight prospecting, we were able to achieve $14 throughout the campaign. And this is content and an audience that this brand gets to keep forever. They've been running that for over 6 months, and it's continued to achieve that same success. So a great example of another value add of influencer paid media funnels. Last but not least, one of our favorite influencers to partner with here, Mallory Urban, on behalf of a brand called Pact. This is another interesting example that's somewhat similar to Nick Shackelford's, where serving the ad from her page into Pact social engagers. And I would recommend doing everything, serving the ad from her page and Pact's page, or the brand's page, into the brand's audiences, serving the ad from her page and the brand's page into Mallory's audiences. I would test both. Like I said in the beginning, you want to spread the net as wide as possible in the beginning. Find a metric or a spending amount where you decide to kill an ad or scale an ad. I would recommend once you spend double your AOV, your average order value, you make that decision if you want to do it in the shortest amount of time. But we saw after scaling this that serving from her page and the brand's audience at that remarketing, retargeting level was the highest performing ad piece, so that's what we scaled. And it actually was able to achieve a ROAS of a 3.5, which was a significant lift in that account as well, and it was a top creative at the time. So these are things that we wanted to highlight today. Page access, serving ads from the influencer page, serving ads into the influencers' page engagers audience, their lookalike audiences, using raw content, using edited content. There's so many different ways to capitalize on influencer partnerships outside of just pay for posts. on the back end through what we call these influencer paid media funnels. And I know that was a lot and a lot to digest, but we'd be happy to get on a call, discuss this further, walk through best practices, how to go about this. We don't think it's the Wild Wild West. We think we can bring clarity to this. On behalf of all the brands, there's just a different way of finding that success, but we believe we can find it with you and optimize and scale. We're looking forward to hearing from you, and we'll talk to you soon.